Hello and welcome to Hubitat Live. My name is Pete Borchers. Happy to be your host. As always, we got a fun, exciting episode for you guys tonight. If you have been on our community at community.hubitat.com, we have been having our end of the year, product of the year surveys, and we've asked you guys what your products of the year are, a bunch of different categories, and we've got the answers for you guys here tonight. We're going to reveal them category by category, and I have some friends here with me tonight to help discuss our winners and our losers. So please welcome Mike and Brian. So thanks for coming to the show, guys.
This is quite possibly the most exciting thing we've ever done on Hubitat Live, Pete.
It is, and look, you even went to outer space to help us out today. Like Mike spent $8 on the green screen to really go all out today, and you're looking good.
Yeah, and we have, just so everybody knows, we have these special,
oh yeah,
star versions.
Our new see-through, the Apollo C11. We're calling that version. So looking good. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have hopped on the community.hubitat.com. I know I voted Brian, Mike, they put some votes, but we've got all sorts of different devices that Hubitat has elevated, if you will. And you guys have tested quite a bit of them. I know our Bobby, he mentioned, hundreds of devices you guys have tried, and our users have tried a bunch as well. But let's jump right into it. We're going to got 12 categories, and then at the end of the show, we'll announce our product of the year. So we're going to start with
Pete, is that going to be the super winner?
The super winner. The best, like, you should all go out and get it right now, or you already have it because it was voted as the product you have. But before we start, I guess, so these products were basically based on how people use them. So it's not like these are the best products out there necessarily. These are just the most popular products that our customers are using. But it's just kind of a fun thing. So we'll start with our light strips. The most popular light strips, we had LifeX light strips, Philips Hue light strips, Senglid multicolor light strips, the Sylvania Smart Plus full color flex strip, and then other was also an option. So those were the options people could vote on. And the winner of that, we've got a little envelope here, just like the great awards shows. Honestly, I was going to put on a suit to like really go all out with this thing, but I'm too fat. Like I tried it on. I have put on too much weight.
Somebody's got to make a paper mache like trophy that we can hand out. You know, some like cheesy little thing that maybe it looks like a light bulb, a little paper mache light bulb, spray paint it gold.
Oh yeah.
You know, super tacky. You know, just
next year when we get thousands of viewers, we'll make that happen.
Here you go, Singlet. This is what you get.
That's right. All right, so I got our envelope here, protected by who's the Price Waterhouse, right? They do all that. So the winner of our most popular light strip is the Philips Hue Light Strip Plus. Brian is not happy about that. No, I know you're a LifeX guy, right, Brian?
Yeah, it should have been LifeX. I mean, come on now.
But they can't.
I think it probably will. You know, once people will, you know, get into it a little bit more.
Yeah, LifeX is a little late to the game, right? I mean, we've had LifeX for what, 2 months now, essentially. Yeah. So
yeah. And Philips has got a pretty good ecosystem, and they, you know, I know their stuff's LifeX isn't cheap either. So
right.
But the color rendering on Philips has been really good until LifeX came along. You know,
I probably should have signed a deal with LifeX to get some kind of kickback, because
you should have.
I've been promoting them pretty heavily lately.
What do they call those channels? What do they call the YouTube channels?
Oh yeah, no. It could be an influencer. Yeah.
No, not an influencer. It's Patreon. There you go, a Patreon channel.
It's for Brian's Patreon channel.
Yeah.
And kick him a little kickback there, but no, I mean the LifeX, I've not used them, but you guys say they're awesome. The Philips ones are all one color.
Behind you.
No, well the bulb. I said the strip. We're talking light strips here, Brian. I don't have a strip coiled up in my little lamp.
Come on, kids, pay attention.
That's a bulb, but no, the LifeX though. I mean that has multiple zones, right? Brian? How many zones does the LifeX have?
There's 8 per
zones,
strip.
8 zones per strip, and forget how many it can be expanded to. The longest one I have right now installed is three strips. So
I'm probably going to do. We're probably going to do my house in them, Pete.
That's impressive. That is quite the quite the production
but,
you have there.
Believe me, we're gonna
I want to see the YouTube video.
We're gonna click that button that says, "Can we get a bulk price? Can we get a bulk price on these?"
LifeX, are you watching? Please give Mike a bulk price. But yeah, I do have Philips. I have a Philips light strip in my bathroom, and it's pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. It's only one color, but it works very well. So
I've got a lot of the RGB ones, but the one that's RGBW, which I think is the one. Yeah, that's the one that they voted on. That's actually better than their original one. So I think that's a good vote.
Yeah, that's what I've got. Oh, look at that.
I'm sorry, Brian.
All right, you shill.
LifeX didn't win. Zigbee or Z-Wave didn't win. Sorry.
Well, to be honest, Z-Wave didn't deserve to win.
No. So, those guys.
I'll admit that one. Not this time. Not in anything lighting RGB.
For viewers that don't know,
color was for Z-Wave. Color was an afterthought. It's like, how can we just hack this in here somehow? It's the worst schema for color I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
The fact that to get the updates, you have to request each individual color separately.
Yeah.
It just drives me bananas.
I know. No, half the audience has no idea what we're talking about. But Pete, when you get two engineers on the line, we're gonna geek out.
For those who don't know,
a little geek.
For those who don't know, Brian is our Z-Wave master at Hubitat, and Mike has focused more on Zigbee and other things. So that's where their perspective's coming from.
Can the two engineers shut up? Can we get on to the next category now?
Yes, let's do it. So we're sticking with.
No, but the next category is smart bulbs.
It's still smart bulbs. We've got Brian's vote already here. But we got smart bulb. Most popular smart bulb nominations are the LifeX Color 1000, the BR30, the LifeX Color 1100 Lumen A19, the Nanoleaf Canvas light panels, Philips Hue White and Color Ambience Light, the Sylvania Smart Plus, the Sengled Smart Light Bulbs, and the ever popular Other. So Other. I'm rooting for Other, but our winner again with our nice envelope here is the Sengled Smart Light Bulbs. So actually,
that's not.
Brian, you're gonna be disappointed. That right there, that's a Sengled.
No, you changed it out. I sent it to you with a LifeX.
You did. Brian sent me that lamp, the Hubitat lamp there with the LifeX bulb. The LifeX is actually in my kids' room, so it's getting used.
Okay.
But I put the Sengled in there because it was the winner. I'm like, I got to put the Sengled bulb in because it's the most popular. I get why it's the most popular though. I mean, it's relatively inexpensive and it works very well. I mean, it just pretty much works. It's not as snazzy as the LifeX. Doesn't have as many features.
And the Sengled does not mess with your Zigbee mesh.
Yeah, that's both a plus and a minus. So, I mean, for folks that try to deploy an entire network with Sengled bulbs, across their 1 acre estate, it's not going to work out so well.
Right.
But
for my one bulb sitting on the lamp back there, it works pretty. I
think you're probably covered. So I think that one's fair too. It's interesting that nobody voted for the Nanoleaf products.
I think people like them, but they're just they're crazy expensive. You know that.
Yeah, it got zero.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, they are. But there's Oh, wow.
They're cool looking though. I mean, they're cool looking, but just
actually almost picked me up some Nanoleafs the other day when I was at Best Buy.
All right, well, let's move on to our next category here. We're talking about the thermostats. Our nominated thermostats are Ecobee, Go Control, Honeywell T6 Pro, Lux Konos, however they spell that, Pearl, Zen, and then Other. So, our winner for the most popular thermostat is Ecobee. Brian likes it.
I actually have no opinion on this one.
Yeah,
I really think manufacturers have dropped the ball on thermostats for local control. Yeah, all the cool stuff is coming out in Wi-Fi now, which is really
Ecobee isn't local control though.
Yeah, I know.
I don't. I mean,
Can
I
we
don't
not,
get it.
can we not make cool features with local control?
Yeah, they'll come around. They'll come around eventually. But it's nice to see that, out of all the other ones that left, they were all Zigbee and Z-Wave. So that's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
No, actually, other got number 2.
That was my dial thermostat. Is that the other vote?
You're the one with the mercury in it. Yeah.
Right. We're working on it. We'll get to the upgrade soon. So, all right. Well, let's move on to our next category: contact sensors. Contact sensors. The nominations for the AOTech door window 7 Gen sensor, the Centralite micro door sensor, the Iris V2 V3 sensor. That's the newer version, right? No, they're very old.
Yeah.
Neo Coolcam 700 door sensor, the Nice door window sensor, and the Sonoff SNZB04 contact sensor. And other. Always other. So, the winner of our contact sensor. These are quality stickers here. Other. And that makes sense.
I guess the good news is there's a lot of them out there that people enjoy, and the fact that there's not one single winner gives you a vast variety that you can choose from. I'm actually quite surprised that the NYCE unit didn't pick up more votes, only because of its small size and its ridiculous battery life. But I guess at $50 a pop, I guess it's probably a little bit too much for most folks to swallow.
Yeah, and they've been hard to find too. I was actually looking for one for a video, and I couldn't find the nice. They weren't available. So, what do you got, Brian?
Oh,
Ring was my previous favorite, which isn't even on the list. But now I'm leaning towards the AOTech door window sensor 7.
Yeah.
Yep. The Ring threw in a few too many resyncs for my taste.
So, I mean, I have not had trouble with any of the ones I have. I like these micro sensors. I mean, they're a good size. That's the Centralite. That's probably my go-to. But, yeah, I mean, most of them are pretty good. Most of mine are Zigbee, Brian. So I apologize for that. But
it's also interesting that the Iris V2, I mean, I don't know when that thing went off the market, but it has to be at least close to 5 years ago. They stopped making those. And the V3s, they were out for maybe 2 months before they pulled them. But, I mean, those Iris V2s are really nice, too. I like those better than the old school Centralite ones.
It's a shame that one of the best things out there is something that hasn't been produced in forever.
Yeah, I know, and they were affordable too. I mean, they were good. You could get a whole pack of sensors and things for, $60 or whatever. That was the first thing I got when I got into the home automation. So, all right, let's move on here. We're going to talk about our most popular button controllers. Our nominations are the Lutron Caseta Pico remote, Philips Hue dimmer switch V2, the RGB Genie 5-zone remote, the Samsung SmartThings, the Zeus 700 series remote, and Scene Controller Zen 34, and other. Always popular with other. So, our winner is... There we go, Mike. I got mine as well. These things are awesome. That was my vote, too. I just got some, and I know you have to be in the system. Yet it's a bit of an outlay to get the SmartBridge Pro, but once you get them, yeah.
Well, I have to hand it to Zeus on this one, though. Zeus, I actually installed quite a few of those myself.
Yep, I see. We got a couple people on the comments are saying Zeus. We got a Ring. So Nat, Leo are voting for Zeus. We got a couple Ecobee. Charles and Ashok are voting for Ecobee. Sorry, that's the earlier comments. But yeah, Picos. I mean, how long do these batteries last, Mike?
They're supposed to last 10 years. I haven't ran one out yet. But, you might think that if you're only going to do one or two button controllers, I totally agree with Brian with his recommendation. But if you're going to do, more than like 5 or 6, it actually is less expensive to do the Lutron Pro Bridge route, because the button controllers themselves, you can get the 5-button one. This is a 2-button one, but you can get a white 5-button one for like $12, $10 or $12. So, and there's no other button controllers you can get for that price.
Yeah,
so when you do a lot of them, it just makes sense.
And they're cool. I mean, they have on the back here, you can mount them on little pedestals. There's a little thing there. You can mount them in your wall so you can replace a switch. They're versatile, they're small, and they're cheap, and they work. I've never had a problem with mine. So we'll move on to our shade controller. I don't have a graphic for this one, unfortunately, but the shade controller nominations were the iBlinds V3, the Graber roller blinds, the Lutron Savoya. It didn't win. Doesn't matter. The Lutron Caseta Serena shades and the Ulax roller shades. The winner was the Lutron. Oh, no, other actually took this one. Sorry. I should act like I don't know. I don't know who the winner is. It was other. God, these stickers are bad.
I have no comment on this one because I only tested one of these myself. So I don't even think I voted on this one.
Well, I've owned the last house we had Serena honeycomb shades in it. So in this house we've got the Savoya the triathlon roller blinds. So I'm probably that 3% guy down there. That's probably my vote.
Have you got those up yet, or are they still sitting in boxes in your?
We got 3 of them up.
Okay, nice.
And I'll tell you, deciding to hardwire those things was possibly the stupidest thing I've ever decided. But
your wife,
it's not fun.
Your wife was saying she enjoyed being in the attic running the wires.
Yeah, she's helping me pull wires, so it's good because otherwise I'd be doing something else and postponing this. It's going to be worth it, but it's a fair amount of work. So, but yeah, we've got 3 of them installed, Pete.
So excellent. How quiet are roller shades, by the way? Are they?
Oh, the Lutron ones?
Yeah,
dude, you can barely hear them.
Really?
I mean, you can barely hear them. You remember the Yolax one that I demoed a while ago?
Yeah.
It's about, half the loudness of that thing. I mean, literally, you can't hear it. It's amazing. They're super quiet. So, and they're also super expensive. So, like always,
right.
You get what you pay for. But we're real happy with them. So.
Well, you also went the hardwire route.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the battery ones don't make any more or less noise, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about you never have to change out batteries, which is.
Yep.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
And more, yeah.
Nice.
By the way, why do they put such weird batteries in most of these sensors and things? I know for size and stuff, but like.
What, these guys?
Yeah.
Because they got a lot of juice. They're 3 volts for one.
That's the good ones.
They're 3 volt, so you only need one of them.
These I hate.
Oh yeah, the coin cells. I don't like those.
I cannot stand sensors that put these in them.
Isn't that what our glorious Picos have?
Yes. But if
they
it lasts 10 years,
so
what do I care?
Right. Exactly. All right, well, let's move on to our water sensors. I don't have a graphic for this one either, but water sensors, we had the AOTech SmartThings water leak sensor, the Water Sensor 7 Pro by AOTech, the Zeus 700 series water leak sensor, the Fibro flood sensor ZW5, and the Sinope Smart water leak detector. Winner was the AOTech SmartThings water leak. Oh, I keep forgetting my toy. The AOTech SmartThings water leak sensor by Zigbee. So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's really not fair to call that thing the smart or the AOTech one because that probably confuses people. But yeah, that is the Zigbee one, the new one.
It's still.
Did you have one of those? I haven't seen.
I have not.
It look like the old one?
I have not seen them. No. So
yeah.
In the video I did this this EcoLink one. That's my experience with water sensors. I mean, it seems to work okay. I didn't like how the sensor seemed a little bit off the ground. That was my only complaint. So you'd have to get a significant amount of water for the contacts to work unless you had them pointed down.
You have to mount it. You have to mount it where it's pointing down.
Right. I don't want to do that. I want to just lay it in the ground. Then I got to mount it on something. I just want to sit it under the ground underneath my water heater, which it is.
So. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's about half of them that are like that.
The dome was.
Hey, Pete, does it have little plastic feet on the bottom? Just sand them off.
No, it's a flat. It's a flat base. I'd have to sand it way down to make that work. But the one thing I was surprised not to see on here is dome. I've heard good things about the dome water sensor, and it's got 3 little prongs. It's a little puck. It just sits. Wow, Brian's head just disappeared.
No, I think he's gonna go fetch one. No.
What's that, Mike?
Yeah, I was looking for a sensor, but I didn't want to.
So
I think Brian was trying to find one.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's water sensors. All right, now we're getting into smart plugs. Nominations for smart plugs are the Centralite Smart Plug Mini, the Lutron Caseta Smart Plug, Minoston Mini Plug, Sonoff S31 Lite Smart Plug, and the Tuya Smart Zigbee 3.0 outlet and other.
Yeah,
Did
how
you
was
say
this thing not even part of it?
Did you
What?
say Sonos? You mean Lutron Caseta?
Did I write Sonos down there? Why would they make a? I don't know.
Sonoff.
Sonoff. Yes, I wrote Sonos because I'm an idiot.
Okay.
Why
Yes.
was this one not on there?
What's that one?
AOTech.
That's the Mini.
AOTech 7.
Oh, that I don't know.
I don't know.
That's my favorite. I have these.
Well,
all
there
over
you
my
go.
house.
It won, Brian. It won.
Well, there's my other. Yes,
Other.
I have other all over my house.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I think it's hard to pare down one smart plug that's like the most popular, just because there's so. I mean, there's 100 of them,
Oh,
right? So
Pete,
And this is the Ministon one.
we community member said the Dome's out of business, so that explains
Oh.
why you don't have one.
well, how about that? So I guess I won't be looking for that anymore. That was terrible. It was a terrible product. Nobody wanted Dome. They were just ugly and bad, and I have no idea. I don't know anybody.
They weren't the greatest looking ones. That's true.
They look like a hockey puck. I'm from Minnesota. We like hockey-shaped things, so we got 5 inches of snow up there right now. But yeah, but as far as
Well,
smart
that
plugs go, huh?
That explains it. You had one, but you left it outside. The kids started playing hockey. with
They
it.
shot it down the yard, and there she goes. But yeah, as far as smart plugs go, I mean, this is kind of my go-to here. Again, it's a Centralite. I've got a Z-Link. I've got a Iris. I've got a Zeus. I got all sorts of smart plugs. So even for me to vote what's my most popular one, I've got
Wait, which
bunch.
Zeus do you have?
It's not the double plug. Don't worry.
It's interesting that not one of those in there is a hardwired one. Not one of those is a duplex. Those are all
That's true.
plug-in modules,
That's
which
true.
I find interesting.
But Mike, you and I had this conversation a while back.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it's worth the effort to really to do a whole new outlet. A plug just makes a lot more sense than to.
Yeah, you're not a maker. You're not a
That's true.
tinkerer. It is worth it because, well, especially if you have teenagers in the house or kids that like to unplug things,
That's true.
and particularly with the Zigbee is a little bit better at dynamically redoing routes when you unplug one of those things, but you could totally thrash your network just by having someone unplug one of those things because they're being helpful, and then plug it in somewhere else or not plug it in at all. So, and I think there's a few that actually have a little screw where you can screw it in if you have a standard duplex outlet. They won't work with
Sure.
While we're on
Flores,
that topic, your smart plugs that are being used for Christmas decorations, remove them from your network, please.
Is that Z-Wave only? Or?
That's another reason to use the built-in ones. They're always there.
So, Mike, would Zigbee have that same issue, or should you remove your Zigbees as well?
It's yes, you probably should either leave them in or take them out.
Okay.
I'm regretfully going to admit that Zigbee does handle it a little better than Z-Wave, but
It's still one of those things though where some devices you may have to do a battery pull to get them to find a new pal to play with. So that's why I kind of like to hardwire those things, because then you don't have to worry about it. But I mean, I get why you don't want to do it, Pete. It is work.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Who wants work? All right. Well, let's move on.
You just get your screwdriver, you grab a certain part of your anatomy. If you're a male, you put your big boy pants on. You do not turn the circuit breaker off, and then you replace it.
So I had an electrician one time. I don't know how they do that. You can change a outlet without turning the power off. That seems like a death sentence to me, but I've seen it done. I would not do it, but I have seen it done. I don't recommend it to people at home.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, let's move on to motion sensors here. Category is motion sensors, the AOTech Tri-Sensor or Multi-Sensor 6, the Centralite Micro Motion, the Heyo Z700 series, the Iris V2 V3, Philips Hue outdoor or indoor motion sensor, and the Ring Motion V2 sensor, or other. Other, always a popular choice. So, who you guys think went? You probably already saw, didn't you? But this one surprised me.
Yeah.
This one surprised me a little bit. With our winner was the Iris V2 V3. Like we said, I mean, it haven't been those in years, but
those things are awesome. You know, the form factor was right. The battery life was good. You couldn't kill them, and you know, there was so many of them in the market. There were so many of them in the market that you know, you could buy them on eBay up until recently. I think maybe you can still get them on eBay. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This is something being manufactured now that is actually really good, but it got last because not many people have it. Oh no.
You said it to me, Brian.
And the fact it's actually out of stock everywhere right now, so you can't even buy it right now.
Well, thanks. Thanks for the tip, Brian.
So what is this? This is the.
It's both Neo and Heyo Z. It's the same exact manufacturing, just marketed under different names, I think, or rebranded. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but the firmware is exactly the same.
So I got a couple things to say. Number one, here's the Ring, which is like the largest sensor I've ever seen in my entire life.
That thing is quirky.
No, you have not. You haven't not seen the stuff from Lutron. Sorry,
but that device is very quirky, and I've heard a lot of people having problems with them. Just stop reporting motion.
Which one?
The Ring.
Oh.
Well, I told you, like, it didn't work for me at start. It took like 20 minutes or something for it to realize it was on or something. It was.
Then it might just quit one day.
Is that the new one? That's the new one, right?
Yeah. This is the new one.
It runs on AA batteries.
Right. The version 1, I had a couple of those and they were reliable.
So version 1s are great.
Yeah. So it's the version 2 that's a piece of shit.
But on the flip note, it is also it does sport beaming, which is nice.
So I got Billy Potter's putting in a plug for the Hue, and I gotta say the Philips Hue, it's a little large, but it looks okay. But my favorite part about the Hue is this little magnetic attachment here. You screw this into the wall, and then you can just adjust the sensor in any angle you want with the magnet. So I thought that was very cool, and it runs on AA batteries, which is also very cool.
I don't personally like the looks of the interior model, but the exterior one is fantastic. The exterior version of that. Do you have one of those, Pete?
I don't have the exterior one. No, this is interior.
Yeah, I think it's the same price and it has the same features, and you know, they're sensitivity adjustable. They report temperature. They report lux. One of the few devices out there that actually reports lux properly.
Mm-hmm.
This does temperature, humidity, all that madness, and my favorite thing, dual CR123s.
Wow, look at that.
That'll last past humans
on 700 series. So you know that's gonna last. That's gonna last a long time. I actually haven't changed out any batteries on these yet. So
awesome.
You just can't buy them anywhere. So.
Because did you buy them all, Brian? Are you hoarding them?
Well, I might have. I bought a bunch of them because I actually liked them, and it also has optional USB power.
So, hey, Mike, Brian, we got one question from somebody. It says, is the first generation Philips Hue light strip not compatible?
No, they're compatible. I have a bunch of them.
Okay, there we go.
They only do RGB. They don't do color temperature.
Okay. All right, good to know. So we got three more categories, and then our product of the year.
Now, having said that, Pete, if they won't join with Hubitat, then they need to be reset. They need to be factory reset. That's usually why it's either that or there's the typical Zigbee thing where you don't have enough repeaters going on to get them to work. But I've got a bunch of them. I've not had any issues with them. All
right. So there you go, Sandra. Okay, we're going to move on to our most popular switches and dimmers. Nominations are Eaton, GE Jasco and Brighton Z-Wave Plus series, the Innovelli Red series, the Lutron Cassetta in-wall smart dimmer, the Zeus 700 series, and other. And the winner is the Innovelli Red Series switches. So another one that's not necessarily new, but has a lot of unique features. I do know that. Brian, what do you think about Innovelli Red?
What are those going for? They're like $20, $25.
I think it was. I just got this one. It was.
Or the reds. The reds are the expensive ones, or the black's the expensive ones.
I think this was
remember.
$30.
It's the reds. In fact, they actually dropped the black line, I think. I actually had. I can't say anything negative about them. I actually had most of my house on Innovelli Reds, but lately I've been changing things out just because I'm trying to go all 700 series.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually have no negative experience with them.
So do you use? So the cool thing about these, and like I said, I haven't had a chance to use it yet. But they've got this light here that you can, program it to do certain things. Did you ever use that feature?
Yes, I did.
For what?
Yes, I did. I had just cool animations going on in the little LED strips.
Okay, so it's just a random sort of thing. I know Bobby, one of our coworkers, he said that he uses them to.
You can use it for notifications.
Yeah, like he says he does weather. I think he does weather notifications or something with it. So.
I just had mine going with animations to show off how cool they were.
That's an important feature too, Brian. We all know that.
It is show off, man.
But I think this can program like a bunch of different things as well. It seemed like a little bit overkill for what it can do, but yeah, people seem to like it and seems to work. So, do you have any other what's your favorite switch then? You're replacing. I know Mike's a Cassetta guy, right? You're Lutron, right? You've switched to all Lutron.
Yeah, I started out with Z-Wave and then went to Zigbee. I've always done in-wall micros, so the stuff that I've used is never going to make any type of popularity list like this. But so yeah, right now I'm doing all Cassetta stuff, which is again, I mean, it is arguably the most reliable radio protocol that exists that we have right now. So I see why it's popular. It's unfortunate that they're as expensive as that they are, especially if you need one that's got the neutral connection. Those are not the inexpensive ones you get at Home Depot.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's true. So a lot of suggestions here for the LED bar as far as you can show when garage doors are open, alarms are on, different things like that. So doors are unlocked. So people seem to be using that. So popular choice there. We got two more categories, and then our product of the year. We'll go to our repeaters, and so our nominations are the AOTech range extender, the Dome range extender, the Neo Coolcam Z-Wave repeater, the Trad-free signal repeater, and the Ring range extender, and other. The winner is the Trad-free signal repeater.
So for those who don't know, that's an IKEA product.
Aha, that would make some that's such a weird word. Everything at IKEA is weird words. So good for them.
Yeah.
Why would you use a repeater instead of a plug?
Because that thing's $10.
Aha, there we go.
So
problem solved.
And it also, by the way, and if you're if you're a fan of buying inexpensive Chinese sensors, there's several of them that absolutely will not stay on the network unless you use specific repeaters. And the IKEA repeater is one of them. So I think that device is probably pumped up because we have a number of customers that are using, some inexpensive Zigbee devices that aren't really spec compliant, and some of the other Zigbee repeaters will actually kick them off the network after a while, and you have to repair them. So the IKEA one doesn't do that. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why it's very popular. But it's also, like I said, it's also $10. So.
$10 can't go wrong for $10. That's for sure. So
at least it was last time I looked. Probably still is.
All right, we got one more category here before the big product of the year. We're talking about locks. Our smart locks nominations are the Alfred DB2, August Pro Lock, the Kwikset Home Connect 700 series, the Kwikset Smart Lock. One is a Z-Wave, one is a Zigbee. The Yale Zigbee, the Yale Z-Wave, and then other. And I think you know what's coming here, guys. It's other. Other's the winner. I like Kwikset because that's what we replaced our old lock, so it looked just like my other original lock, and that made my wife happy. Seems to work. It's a Zigbee lock.
I actually voted other on this one.
Yeah, what do you got, Brian?
Well, my current favorite lock is, but as far as because it's the most reliable was oh, shoot, I'm drawing a blank. I shouldn't open my mouth.
It's all right.
Uh, the
So,
Dana lock version 3. Z-Wave.
Okay.
I
You-
really
you
like
actually-
that one.
You can actually tolerate the looks of that thing?
Yeah, it doesn't. No, it's not bad. And it's very reliable. I have also Yale, and I have August installed, and I just got an Alfred, so I don't know about that one yet. So I haven't installed it yet.
so have any of you guys used the August? Those are the ones that fit over your.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I had in August. But it
There's,
was
there's, a lot of people
August?
probably having problems with the firmware update right now,
yeah.
Okay.
and it is causing major problems on Z-Wave.
Hmm.
Don't update it if you get it.
Good to know. Now, is there?
So I had the August Pro, the deadbolt one. It doesn't fit over an existing lock, if that's what you mean. Maybe they have a new version that did, but I didn't find anything compelling about it that would make me go out and buy another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are there any smart locks that are not like wake the neighbors loud? Because I feel like they're.
The Yale ones tend to be a little
Yale one's
quieter than the
quiet.
Quickset. The Quickset are the worst. They're fucking, they're coffee grinders. They literally are the loudest locks I've ever heard. The Yales are a little bit better. The quietest one I've ever seen is
I hardly ever hear my Yale.
Okay.
hang on. I gotta
Doing a test, but yeah, I have the quick. That's why
No.
I have a quick set, and that was just like, it's great and it works great and everything, but it's just loud. That's the only real complaint I have about it. So
the quietest lock that I've ever ran into is the Kiwi. And I don't know if they're still in business, but they sent me a couple samples and I literally could barely hear it. KEWEE. It's a Z-Wave lock.
oh yeah, okay, yep.
Kind of a North Korean sort of style. And it's a very well constructed lock. And it's the quietest one. But
David says you went into space. Disappeared, floated away. So, all right. Well, let's move on to the grand finale here. Our product of the year, as selected by our customers. Again, product of the year. The nominations for product of the year were the AOTech SmartThings sensors, Centralite Micro Smart sensors, Innovelli Red Series, the Quickset Home Connect 620 lock, the LifeX color bulbs. Brian, you snuck that in there. The Lutron Caseta smart lighting, the nice sensors, Sengled multicolor A19 bulbs, the Zeus 700 series remote, and the Zeus Z-Wave Plus multi relay. So before we announce it, gentlemen, what is your pick for the product of the year? Okay, Brian, we got you LifeX bulbs. Brian put a lot of work into that, and they're awesome. So totally, that makes sense. So Mike, what's your choice?
I'm going to be honest with you. When I first started in home automation, and I was listening to, when I started working for Hubitat, Bruce was all on about Lutron this, Lutron that, Lutron the other thing, blah, blah, blah. I got tired of hearing it, right? Some guy's going to tell me what the greatest thing since sliced bread is, right?
But then you went and drank the Kool-Aid.
Well, I did, but it was based on experience. I went through, good and bad Z-Wave. I went through good and bad zigbee, and now in this house, I spent the time and the money to do the whole thing in Lutron. I have both a Caseta bridge, Pro bridge, and a Radio Raw 2. I use different ones for different things, and they all come back into Hubitat. I couldn't be happier. I mean, I've got the most reliable automations that I've ever had in 6 years of home automation. So I can't speak enough of positive things about it.
Yeah,
This has been the most reliable lighting I've ever had.
So maybe we should get some Lutron switches with that.
Well, the downside with the Lutron stuff, obviously, is they don't do anything color. So, I'm holding out for Brian's LifeX here, and like I said, I'm about ready to make the commitment to buy probably 50 of those freaking strips at $70 a piece and, put them around my house. Why? Because I don't want to have to put up Christmas lights every year, guys. I don't want to have to take them down. I don't have to put them up.
Absolutely.
So, there you go.
Absolutely. So I'm totally with you. Like, I didn't have Lutron experience until this year, but I got them and it's pretty sweet. My kids love them. I love them. But let's see what the product of the year is, according to our users, the Innovelli Red Series. So they're still liking those switches. We already talked about those, but yeah, good product. They got lots of features, and maybe they'll have some supply here because they've had some trouble with that recently, I think. So keep checking on Amazon and things, and hopefully they'll get some back in supply. But yeah, so that's.
I don't know if I'm supposed to let everybody know. It's probably not a big secret, but they are actually doing Zigbee dimmers and switches too. I actually have one of them. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So.
Well, there we go.
I think that's a good move on their part. They'll cover both ends of it. So.
I just hope they come out with some good 700 series stuff soon.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a nice feature as well. But I mean, the 500 seem to be working, so people seem to like them. But 700 always better than the 500, and we support that obviously.
We got one more question, and this was. Yeah. Remember we were talking about the IKEA repeaters?
Yeah.
And why you would use them? Well, we have a customer that's got an Aquera Zigbee humidity sensor that keeps falling off the network. So that is one of the aforementioned Chinese inexpensive brands that falls off the network when they're used with repeaters that high quality repeaters. So you actually have to use the crappy little IKEA repeater in order to keep these things going. So.
Yeah, I tried some of those sensors a while back out of curiosity because they were so cheap, and I never had good.
It's too bad. I mean, the form factor on them is stunning. I mean, I like the way they look. They're really small and they're really inexpensive, but they suck. So
it's not worth the pain.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we've kind of hit our time here, guys. So thanks for participating. Any final thoughts about what product of the year you might be looking forward to for 2022? I know with LifeX, it's all LifeX. It's got life.
Oh, I swear I'm not getting paid by them.
Yeah.
I 2022, it's going to be nothing but Matter. It's going to be Matter devices, top to bottom. I'm just letting you guys know up front. That's all we're going to see this year is Matter. Everybody's going to be doing it. You're going to be able to go down to Walmart and buy, a Matter lock for $10.
I bought 100 of them already. I mean, I've already loaded my house with Matter. So. Yeah.
One thing I am excited about Matter is the Wi-Fi transport. The standardization of Wi-Fi local control devices. That's got potential.
That's part of it.
If it comes out.
It's the best protocol ever, just like all the others.
If it comes out, if it materializes.
Did you watch the Samsung thing that Bobby posted?
I didn't.
Yeah. So Samsung's already off on their own. Apparently, Matter wasn't good enough for all their appliances, so they wrangled a few other appliance manufacturers, and now they've got their own 3-letter acronym, way of integrating all the appliances. No, of course not. It's Samsung. What would you expect?
I'm not interested. I like local control.
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up with that. So again, thank you everybody for watching. I'll post links to the products we talked about in the comments, hopefully tomorrow at some point. So if you want to check out those products, I'll post some links so you can see those. Otherwise, check out more videos coming out this week. We got one on Yeelight, which wasn't even on the list. Yeelight and a Lutron, and one with our quick set Home Connect lock here. So those are coming out soon. So until then, thanks for watching, and we will see you all next time.